continue with the operation. You may fire when ready.
Padme, Yoda's Kane, Anakin is gone insane. Logan 6, Corporal Hicks, the gem Hadar need a fix. Ripley, NPC, Daredevil, he cannot see. Bumblebee, K9, the Doctor, and Klingon wine. Old Bob Sandworm, stories that'll twist and turn. Bow, toss, scimitar, death of Tasha Yar. Flash Gordon, Buck Rogers, Stormtroopers and Clone Wars, James Holden, Tweaky, John Koenig and Ziggy.
We talk about the series. You can join us live by picking up your phone now. We talk about the series. We're coming to you on your streaming services now. We talk about the series. Comics, books, and games, we go beyond the show now. We talk about the series. Come and join us as we sit and chat and we go on and on and on.
Well, good evening, Trekkies and Trekkers around the globe. It is Thursday night, September 25th, 2025. Welcome to episode 655 of Trek Talking and Beyond. I'm your most excellent host, Uncle Jim. Welcome to the podcast. We have a great show planned for you guys tonight, but before we go too far, I want to introduce my awesome co-host. We have Eric. Eric's out in Portland. How you doing tonight, Eric?
You know what, Jim? Honestly, I'm feeling a little under siege tonight. I mean, first my escalator stopped on the way up to my office this morning, and then my teleprompter went out during my big presentation, and then my audio cut out during the parts where I was really getting to whining. So, I mean, I don't think it's coincidence. I think it's triple sabotage. 3 very sinister events right in a row. And you should know that I've actually already sent copies of my 358-word complaint to the Secretary General, and I demand an immediate investigation. I mean, it's enough to give a guy a headache, which I used to take well, you understand, the autism stuff, but I'm just kind of happy to be here now. Yeah.
Oh. Excellent.
Let's get Grandpa back to the home. It's okay. Come on, Grandpa.
Yep, he's got to go.
It'll be okay. We'll get you your soup.
Oh, boy. Oh, brother. And also from Portland, we have our very own Paul, the toy guy. How you doing tonight, Paul?
I'm okay. I think so.
You didn't get stuck on an escalator, did you?
I stay off those things. I'm more of a climbing the rope guy. But yeah, it's surreal times. And I'm excited to talk to, for my money, one of the bright spots of season 3 of Strange New Worlds in just mere moments. So kind of excited about the content of the old show tonight, Uncle Jim.
It's going to be fun, that's for sure. And sticking with Portland, we have our miracle worker, David. How you doing tonight, David?
Doing pretty good. Not as what Eric just talked about, but I'm glad to have Christine Horn on with us. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. And not in Portland, but in Las Vegas, we have Charles. How you doing tonight, Charles?
I'm doing good, Uncle Jim. Glad our weather will cool down soon, so we can have weather like everybody else.
Yeah, we might get some snow up here in Vermont.
I heard the Rockies got some snow. We're just getting still nice heat.
And the last but not least, we have Victoria. She's out in Virginia. How you doing tonight, V?
Doing all right. Sarcastic Vulcan salute. Yeah, glad to be in the what is Strange New Worlds? Is that 23rd century? I think so. Yeah, because Christine, I'm a historic site interpreter at Colonial Williamsburg, where every day I speak the truth and the whole truth of our early American history to people. So, which can be a challenge sometimes, but it's. I didn't realize how many history people are also sci-fi nerds. So, I span the centuries.
Wonderful.
And as promised, guys, we have with us live in the studio right here. Well, not live in the studio, but live with us. We have Christine Horn. She's appeared on series such as I'm gonna try to make this brief. Take a deep breath. The Originals, MacGyver, Powerless, NCIS, American Crime Story, Timeless, The Haunting in Hill House, The Good Doctor, Lethal Weapon, and SWAT. Just to name a few. So she's been around quite a bit. She started her own record label and production company and is also a coach to mentees in the Hollywood-bound actors virtual community, believing in each other and each one teach one.
Yeah.
But for us, we know her as that badass Klingon Bytha from Star Trek Strange New Worlds, 3rd season episode Shuttle to Confore. And in case you didn't know, she's the honor-seeking daughter of Doc Ra from the season 2 Strange New Worlds episode Under the Cloak of War. Kapla! And welcome to the show.
Thank you. What awesome intro. And wonderful to meet all of you. Thank you so much.
So, I don't know where to start. First of all, I want to ask you, were you a Star Trek fan before you got the role to be a Klingon?
I was not. However, I dedicated this episode to my now deceased husband, him and his whole family were huge Trekkies. I mean, and so it was always something that was around me. It was one of those things I just never kind of got around to watching. And when I auditioned for, I don't want to, well, let me not jump ahead. Oh, you may have questions about that later. But short answer is no. But when I started to deep dive, I grew a new appreciation for it. I will say that.
Now, luckily, you sent us some pictures.
I did.
And I wanted to, which David is going to put up on the screen here in a second while we talk. I wanted to ask you what the procedure was, what you went through to become Bytha.
Well, after I was cast, I had to actually get a life cast done. So that got done where I went to, I actually got it done in Atlanta because I was traveling at the time. And so I went to this gentleman's house who does this for all these productions, his studio. It was 3 people total. And there's a picture there I shared with you where I'm like in a bunch of green goop. Maybe I think it's in that folder. It's in, well, that's our makeup guy, Chris. But there's a picture I have to share to you another time.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. So that's the end, almost the end of the process. So this process, they had to do a life cast of me. So basically from top of the chest to the top of the head. Fun fact, I'm extremely claustrophobic. So this was extremely difficult process for me. But I breathed through it. But it was many layers of it felt like paper mache. For anyone who's ever made a paper mache project when you were a kid, that's what it felt like, except I'm the subject. So it's just layers and layers of gauze and water and all the stuff that they had to apply. And then to make it pliable, this green layer was the last piece. After this piece, they covered my eyes. Since I was claustrophobic, I said, please wait to the very end. And so the last 10 minutes were the most horrific for me, but they held my hand and I truly was just breathing. I was like, think about the big picture. You're going to be on Star Trek. You're going to be on Star Trek. But that was the process. In addition to that, I also had a mouth mold done, I guess similarly to as if you're getting dentures, with this kind of yellow gooey stuff to mold my teeth. And as you can see, my ears got molded too. So that was the first part of the process. They needed at least 8 weeks or more to put everything together. And so what you're seeing here is my part of my morning routine, which was 3 hours ish of makeup every morning before my clock started to work. So my average work day was at least 18 plus hours. That's me in my dressing room before they put the wig on. Sometimes I would ask them if I knew I wasn't going to be shooting for a while, I would say, can we put the wig on later? But that's what the back, as you can see, like the details, I was so impressed. Like, this isn't just a picture. Like when you're staring, when you're in the mirror, you can't see where it starts and where it ends. And my makeup artist, Chris, was just amazing. And so each fun fact though, each in one of those pictures shows it me holding my face mold, but each day was a different mold. So it wasn't, they didn't put it back on. So they, I'm hearing feedback. I don't know if anybody else hears that. But now it's gone. But each day, and that's why I have so many of my mannequin heads. I got to keep like 8 of
Oh,
them.
cool.
But I was like, so each day, so they came from Hollywood already on a head. So each day they put a fresh one on, and then taking it off took about 40 minutes. But yeah, that was the process every day.
Now, in the episode, you speak Klingon. Did you have to get coaching, or did it just come natural to you?
Didn't come natural. You are a comedian. Absolutely not. And I didn't even know, when you audition for stuff like this, it's very top secret. You don't even really know what it's for. They give you a vibe. They give you a fake character, fake synopsis of what's happening, I guess, to get the essence of an actor that they want. But so there was no talk of Klingon or anything. I guess that might have been, but not until I got the script, I was booked, and they were about to do a table read with the rest of the cast. And like, it was like a day or two before, and they're like, oh yeah, here's the Klingon words, and here's a little recording for you to practice. And I was like, oh my, what? So the first table read didn't go well. I think I had humanmo. That's all I had was the word human. Humanmo. I figured that part out. But then once I got to Toronto, where the show is filmed, I had time with the dialect coach several times a week on Zoom. Also, as we were filming, the dialect coach was there on set with me to give me tips, to make adjustments. So yeah, it was intense. It was intense because I'm sure all of you know, who have probably studied Klingon or maybe have it on Duolingo or practice. It's a quite challenging dialect for sure, especially once you add the layer of an 18-hour day plus false teeth and all the other elements.
I actually saw the YouTube video that you did of that process of learning Klingon.
Awesome.
So that was really, really neat.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to see it. I had so much behind the scenes footage. I had to wait. I mean, it took so long for this season to come out. The actor strikes and everything just being on. I was just happy that it actually came back around and everyone got to see it.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the whip scene.
Yeah.
So, how did that come about, and do you actually handle the whip?
Great question. So that I will say, what's wrapped around my corset outfit is the actual whip and how they wanted it to appear once she got to that point. But though I rehearsed with a whip, I had fight rehearsals with the whip sometimes. When we actually filmed, there was no whip. It was just a piece. It was just the handle of the whip that was probably no bigger than this scissor. And so it was very important for me to have rehearsals with the whip coach and with my fight and stunt coordinators to know what the weight of that whip really would feel like. So when they came in CGI later, it would be realistic. So on the day, that whip was not there, just me holding it and having the energy in my body to move it correctly. That's a wonderful shot, though. I love it so much. It's so badass right there.
You are a badass Klingon for sure. So, one more question, and I'll pass you on over to Paul. I wanted to know, are we going to see maybe a zombie version of you come back later? Are you actually dead, or are you still out there somewhere?
I don't know, especially with the show going away, right? Start, Strange New Worlds, they're on their last season. So I don't know. I'm always hopeful, for another opportunity, but they kind of left it open, at a glance, you see me being toppled and, being taken care of by all those zombies, but there's the reach for the flower, the chimera flower, for some hope. But we'll see. I feel like she'd be pissed if she came back as a zombie. Like that was not the point.
Didn't go to Stovacor.
Correct. Like no.
No. All right. Well, I'm gonna pass the microphone over to Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Christine. It is a treat to have you here. Just you did a phenomenal job in this role. I
Thank
just have
you.
to say. I have seen your work before on a show that I don't know if all of our Trek experts have or not, but Snowfall.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
A lot
God,
of fun.
amazing! I mean, amazing. I
Thank
mean,
you.
great show. But you really stand out, friend.
Quite
I'll tell
different
you that.
character.
Very, very. But
Yes,
I mean, on Star Trek,
but
you
thank
like you get Klingons all the time coming here and there from one franchise to another. And like the heyday of Star Trek: The Next Generation, you get Klingons all the time, right? And I just have to say, I think when you came on the screen, it was like we had never seen the energy level like you displayed before. It was new. I felt like you brought such fresh. Is to me like best. I don't know what other Trek experts think, but best Klingon since Gaura, right? I mean, which is the be all and end all of great Klingon performances. And I'm
well, what
just it was amazing, friend. You were incredible, and I would
thank
love to
you.
find out
Thank
as an
you.
actor, because especially where you kind of copped earlier that like you're not like really coming into this thing as a big Star Trek fan, like not enormously so. How did you start building the character? Did you just watch a lot of old episodes, or you talk to other characters who played, or other actors who played them before? What was your process? How'd you build such a great character?
Thank you so much, and thank you for appreciating it, all of you. I love the Trexpert. I love that phrase. um, I just treated her as I do any other character on any other show. Um, for me, it's always about what's the truth of this character, what's the driving force for them. So yes, I actually let go of, in the beginning, let go of the fact that she was a Klingon and this was sci-fi and start like, just know at the root of this, she's a woman who has an issue with her father, and there's there's history there, there's pain there, and then of course adding on tradition. So that is where, once I was booked, I did a deep dive between YouTube and just watching so many videos, watching old Star Trek, watching, of course, binging Strange New Worlds, but just wanting to see. I wanted to find my physicality also as a Klingon, because I saw so much with some of the older stuff. It was very like wild and like, like glasses hitting the floor and just rah rah, like this barbaric energy, which I was like, okay, yes, but I was like, this is a woman who's in the hierarchy here, and how does she operate, and how does she represent herself, and owning her power and demanding respect. So how does she carry herself? So all that was very important to me. And so it took me a while to find it, but all I did was watch Star Trek. So I just went so, and it was beautiful because even in my hotel room at night, I was in Toronto for at least almost 2 weeks before I filmed anything. It was just fight rehearsals and dialect coaching, and fittings. So I just had a lot of time to sit with it. So for me, that was my process. Binging the content, connecting to what the world was. I had to make it true to me. I think when I was younger, the reason why I didn't get into Star Trek, had a hard time as a younger person. I need to find what feels real. In my mind, I was like, it feels so far away, like that would never happen. So I like sci-fi, like all of a sudden I wake up with the superpower. So I was like, well, how can I bring the grounded energy to this world and make it grounded for me and real for me? So that was a process that I eventually came into. And then being on set, once I got to see the stages in Toronto and feel where my world was, and oh my goodness, the room in which we had multiple sets, but the main room where they do a lot of the outer worldly the other worlds, it's this huge room with just screens all around, so everything feels so magical. And so even as an actor doing this for a very long time, going onto a set or onto a stage, it's a sound stage, is still, I'm no longer on a stage, I'm in the world. And so once I saw my ship and then my costumes and then the zombies, it just became so real. And that's what you get. And for me, fighting for this respect, um was just paramount. And then working with Mbenga, Babs, the actor, he's so grounded, so rooted, and as with Anson, it made it also just easy to be in the moment and be true. So, long answer, but I get very passionate
No,
about it. But that's what it was. Yeah,
it's great, and you had such a
yeah,
cool arc
yeah.
that got conveyed so quickly, right? And so you come in and you're basically trying to find out, initially you're trying to like settle things with your dad, and then you find out, well,
Mm-hmm.
he's gone. I don't get to have that. I can't reckon accounts the way Klingon honor demands me to. And then you
Right,
find out,
right.
oh, this guy, Mabenga, he like took that away from me, and honor now demands that you kill
Mhm.
him. And it's just this great,
Yes,
I mean, what are the Klingons but like space Vikings, right? They're just all like, driven by, you know, honor and vengeance and getting, to the higher realms after you die. I mean, it's just great. But it was how you conveyed so much of that in such a brief amount of time and made it really compelling. And just a sense of
thank you.
her having like justice been stolen from her, and there was just nothing was going to get in her way to get that back. Even though you could
Yeah,
maybe respect Mabenga, you had to do what you had to do to reclaim your honor, and
absolutely.
you conveyed a lot of frustration and just
Yeah,
angst at the situation you found yourself in, but like your society wouldn't let you get past that. You had to do it, and I just thought it was just brilliant. I thought it was just really compelling. I'm going to go on record as saying I really, 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 really hope that there's like an NDA out there that you just don't want to talk about, and that that you did not succumb to the zombies, because to create such a great Klingon character and then be done with them so quickly. I'm ready for like a Captain Bytha TV show. Frankly, I would tune into that shit
let's go
every
for
week.
it.
I mean,
Hey,
you're just
I receive
ferocious
it.
and
I receive
compelling
it.
and cool, and there's just no getting around it. So, can you give us a hint
Thank you
about
so much. Well,
what you got coming next? Where are we going to see you next in your next role?
uh, well, first of all, thank you for all of that, and I received that. And Star Trek was really the manifestation of a dream before, from 2 years ago. I wanted to do more action and sci-fi, and voila, this came, and God blessed me with this. For me, what's coming up next, what I've most recently finished, there's a new show coming to Netflix, top of 2026, starring comedian Bert Kreischer, and the show is called Free Bert. Totally different. It's a single camera comedy, and I play a headmaster of a school, so it should be a lot of laughs. So good, total
Excellent,
opposite of Klingon world, but that's what I'll be doing next. Yeah.
cool. Such range you have. It's just
What
crazy.
else? Who's next?
But try to keep
Yeah, I'm
at
so
least
grateful.
one.
I'm
Keep
so
a finger in
grateful.
science fiction and fantasy for us, friend, because I just think you're amazing and you're a
Yeah, I
powerhouse.
would love
So,
to.
but just thanks for making
Thank you.
such a
Thank you.
great
I would
moment
love
and a
to.
really cool
Let's hear.
character. You're going to get fan fiction to death by the community. They're going to just do Bytha stories like crazy. So, but that's what I predict. Enough of my yapping. Uncle Jim,
Hey,
who's taking the
listen.
chair next, buddy?
Well, let's see. How about V? V
Okay.
had a couple of questions.
Yes. Well, first off, I just want to offer my condolences to you um, at the loss of your husband.
Oh, thank you.
But the fact that I think there was a gift that he and his family gave you, that you knew about Star Trek and you dedicated this to him. So that really gets to me because my former husband passed away a couple of years ago. We weren't married at the time, but because I've been in and out of Star Trek through the years, raising my kids and all that, and um, I was reluctant to watch anything besides the original series because I was a purist, and he got me into Voyager, and so I loved that, and I was able to achieve a dream and meet Kate Mulgrew a couple weekends ago. So that was fantastic. But um, no, that energy, that dedication and energy you definitely brought to Bytha. Oh my goodness. And I have an acting background. I just wish you had been my friend when I was in college. And my parents, I went to VCU, I was a theater major, and my parents convinced me that I would never go anywhere with my degree. And, you know, when you're 19, 20, you don't know. So, but I've done stuff off and on throughout the years, but I'm just so inspired by everything Star Trek and inspired by you because you're this virtual community where you're giving. What really got me again was you're giving back to the community that has blessed you beyond measure. That just jumped out at me and, you know, just got me kind of choked up a little bit because really and truly in the scope of things, you know, if you're blessed like that, you give back and that's what you're doing. Not everybody does that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, and I'm just, I also like that you are a booking magnet. Can you
yeah,
explain
yeah.
that just a tad bit?
Yeah, absolutely. My sign behind me, and I even because I keep it behind. This is my live corner where
Uh-huh.
I do lives. So I even have a book called Playing Small: The Actor's Guide to Becoming a Booking Magnet. I'm a student of law of attraction. I believe that, you know, what we attract, right? What we think about, we bring about. And so in my studies over the years, I was just like, well, if I attract money and people and experiences, and well, I can attract bookings. Well, I'm a magnet, I'm magnetic, you know. So then I was like, I'm a booking magnet. So it just became this affirmation and this way of life for me. And so I was like, well, if I'm a booking magnet, well, what does that mean? And how do I operate? It means I attract bookings to me. If I'm not booking roles, I'm booking rooms. I'm making memorable moments. You know, I'm doing my best work. You know, I'm attracting like all that I say that I am. You know, my standard is excellence in all that I do. So that's what that's about for
Oh,
me. And
nice.
it's just about just being so aware of what I put out into the
Hmm.
world, how I speak about myself, how I speak about my career, how I speak about my craft, how I love on myself, my worth, all of that. You know, this industry as an actor is challenging. There's
Hmm.
ebbs and
Yeah.
flows, and there's so many opportunities to doubt ourselves and wonder if we're good enough. And so the script that you repeat to yourself over and over again is the most important one. So that's been my mission, not only to speak life to myself, but to my community of actors.
Wow, when you said that, you know, that thing about law of attraction, I got chills because I have recently gotten into that because I'd been sort of in a rut for a number of years. And just this year, I've started to open up, get back into Star Trek. Going to New Jersey was a huge thing for me to do, but I did it. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm considering myself in transition. So I might have to reach out to you with this virtual community because I was talking about the difficulties in Hollywood. I was talking with Nana Visitor, you know, as you do, about the difficulties because in Hollywood there's always the ageism problem, and even where I work, there is, you know, with the actors that portray historic figures, and there's like an ageism thing too. So it's one of those things where I think, I mean, you do what you can, but I think having that faith and that law of attraction on your side, that's got to help. So
Absolutely.
yeah, but I think
Absolutely.
I might because I'm feeling a shift in my whole being. So I just thank you for that. So you might hear back from me.
You're welcome. No
Yeah, but
problem.
again, thank you for that awesome performance. Bytha just was like Jim said, Uncle Jim said, badass, bad to the bone.
Yes, thank you.
She was awesome for sure. And I think David might have a question, right, David? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
thank you, David.
I just had a quick question about a another show that you were on called The Good Doctor, and I was wondering if you uh like how was it working with Freddie Highborn or what?
I think it's Highmore. Yeah.
Highmore. Yeah.
It was awesome. He was a joy to work with. Very easygoing, very friendly, be, you know, funny. My brain is going back to some long days where we got the giggles and just started laughing. He's just one of those just kind, super talented, grounded actors. It was so it was great working with him. Very easy, effortless. Yeah,
Cool.
one of my favorite. I don't have a lot of bad stories, but definitely some people are nicer than others, and he was one of those. I was just very warm. He's just one of those people who, like you if you piss him off, you've done something really bad. It's you probably. Probably.
Cool. No, that's awesome. So my next question for you would be, you mentioned that you have phobia for claustrophobia and stuff like that. Do you have any trypophobia since you've been a
What is
Klingon?
that? Oh, again, something I knew nothing of before. My husband Garland, trouble with triples or something with triples.
Yeah,
Like
trouble with
Sorry,
tribbles. Yeah.
he would have those references and it would go over my head, and he's like, "I'm just gonna play the video for you," and then he like play me a video. So no, no triple
Okay.
phobia, thankfully.
Cool. I wanted to ask you what it was like to play a Klingon in Star Trek. I mean, I know that you talked a lot about it already with Jim and everybody, but I was just wondering if there was any other parts that you might be able to share that, like maybe behind the scenes, that you might have found that was like super funny that you could share.
I think the biggest, because of like just having the teeth and the weight of the hair and the weight of the clothes, like just impacts just everything. I'm a very graceful person. I'm 5'9", but wear heels. I'm 6 foot. I took dance class, so I'm used to walking with great posture. But everything from the clothing and the choices and the weight, just and thinking about the world that the Klingons are living in, just brings this extra weight. So it was a lot of fun, just again finding that physicality, but you felt it all day, and also she's these are not just prim proper people. Like, yes, I wasn't throwing beer bottles on the ground and grunting, but that is part of who we part of me and part of who we come from, and so that is a part of it. I'm sure, have we seen Bytha at a bar or hanging out with friends, we might see a different side of her. So that made it pretty interesting. And also because I had on prosthetics for about 18 hours a day, it just feels like it becomes just a part of you, right? And that was interesting too. So it definitely had this moment of when I finally got to take it off, of like truly shedding skin, and putting on these layers. Another fun fact, you kind of feel trapped as the character too, in a way, because the clothing conveniently you can't get out of that outfit alone. Like, it takes 2 people to dress me.
Wow.
So there's like Under Armour, just Under Armour long sleeve shirt, Under Armour pants. Then there's like these custom made pant thingies with suspenders. And then there's like this jacket that's kind of like a straight jacket. You put it on from behind. Someone has to zip you up from the back. And then there's the gold like armor plate thing. One part goes across the chest, and then another part goes over your head, and then goes over your shoulders. And then they're putting on.
Wow.
So it's just like, there's no like quick, hey, I have to go to the bathroom really quick. Like, you have to like plan. I've had 10 sips of water, right? So, but even just all of that commitment, again, I used it as an actor. Like, this is how I commit to my existence. I'm willing to put this on. We don't just put on shirts and jeans, right? It's like, this is my armor. This is how we protect ourselves and how we battle. And so all that felt really cool too. Just added layers to the character and just how I existed in the world, which was a lot of fun.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of patience, really.
That's the part of acting. People see red carpets and, oh, you're on TV, how cool. But it's a lot of work, a lot of mental work, staying focused, of course, learning your lines and staying awake and being present and giving all that you got. But gosh, in those moments where you get tired or it's been a long day, I'm always reminded of, this is something my boyfriend now says to me. He says, Christine, you are enshrined. And I don't take that lightly, like, to be, I'm gonna speak frankly, to be a Black woman in a role like this is huge. And I know, I can only imagine. I remember walking to the fitting the first day and seeing the the sketch of this character and being like, gosh, some young woman or some grown woman is going to look and be inspired and see like this opportunity that existed and know that that's possible, even think beyond. That really, that is the weight that I don't take for granted, art, and that's why I love connecting with the fans and the Trekkies, because it's like, as much as people want to say, oh, or sci-fi, oh, we're sci-fi nerds, or we're geeky, no, like you're passionate, like you found something that, and you like take the time to research it and dissect it. Like, as artists, we appreciate that you, even the writers, appreciate that you're dissecting the scripts, you're dissecting the language, we're dissecting the performances. It makes it worth it, because there's so many things that we do that people never see or care to even know deeper about. So yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I'll say real
I
quick,
think
I'm sorry, I was going to say real quick, you have inspired me more than I can express right now.
Oh, wow.
So.
Well, God bless. Wonderful.
Well, thank you. I
You're
think I'll
so
pass it
welcome,
on
David.
to whoever's next.
I think that would be Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Christine. You started to talk about the process of getting the role and the table read. I'd love to hear more about that story.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I was trying not to jump ahead of myself, right? I did share my audition for this on my Instagram, so you're welcome to watch that, and your viewers hopefully will go to my Instagram and watch it. But it was one of those auditions that was a top secret code name for the show. They don't even tell you what the show is called. You kind of guess, me and my agents kind of guessed it might be for Star Trek. We were right. But they gave me this I forgot what her name was. Rock. It was something like Rock, something. But it basically described the energy of her, like that she was badass, that she was, loyal, all this stuff. And I had a great audition that I did here in my home in front of my great backdrop. When it came to the part with the knife, I had a real knife because I keep knives. Oh, that's when I'm, keep them around the house. Why not? Again, from my husband, who's ex-Marine, so knives everywhere. So yeah, that audition's on my Instagram if anyone wants to see it. And it was a while before I found out that I booked it. And then, fun fact, I booked it and then the strikes happened. And so it wasn't until it was easily a year later before we actually filmed it. We didn't actually film my episode till January of last year, 2024. And then, yes, in Toronto. But the first table read was a virtual table read. That's how we do the table reads now, especially post-COVID. And it was so cool to see young Spock. And then when I got to set the first time and they were doing the makeup test on me, I got to go on the ship and like meet. I was like, this is so cool. I think you have one of the pictures. I'm standing with the writer and the director of the episode. That's where I wasn't in costume, but I did have my prosthetics on. And that was my first day. Everybody saw Bytha for the first time. So everybody, even, to see young Spock look at me like, wow, Ethan was like, this looks cool. And I'm like, you look cool, So it was a lot of fun.
You've got a pretty extensive list of IMDb's. What were a couple of your favorite roles you did, and any stories that go with those roles?
Oh man. So many. I'm trying. My brain now is trying to see my own credits. But I would say one show that was the most memorable was Timeless, a show that was on NBC. Even I played Harriet Tubman. So you talk about an American hero. That for me was a big graduation moment for me in my career. It was like my largest guest star role at the time, and such an honor to join the ranks of women who have played Harriet Tubman and to do it on television. And that role is pretty cool because I'll go speak at schools and things like that, and there'll be a lot of young people who say, we watched Timeless in school, we watched that episode, The General, and we learned a lot. And so that was a lot of fun. I think on the total flip side of that, I did a show called Black Mafia Family where I played a role called Mabel, and she was a homewrecker, just a messy homewrecker, and that was fun too. Just because the internet hated me, but the role was a lot of fun. Got a lot of hate mail, but the role was fun to play. I just love
Well,
playing pretend. I've been doing this since I was a kid, and the fact that I get to put on wigs and costumes and makeup, and it's just a dream come true. I mean, I think honestly, I don't get tired of it. It's still all fresh and new to me. I'm so grateful for it all.
as I talk about auto racing, I don't care if they're cheering or booing, as long as I can hear them.
Yes, I love that. Exactly. Exactly. What's next?
Okay,
All
I
right, I
think I'll
think
pass it over to Eric. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Christine, last but not least here, so I have a couple of quick acting related questions and then
Okay,
a sort of non-acting related question. So,
sure.
I was looking, of course, at your IMDb, and I noticed that you kind of you consider the achievement of your dream of your early dreams to be performing in The Lion King on
Yeah.
Broadway, and I'd love to know more about that because I've seen that show twice already, and it's one of the greatest on stage performances that's out there, I think. And so what did you do, and what was
Yeah.
that like?
Really, it really was. Remind me what city you're in again?
I'm in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. I didn't get to go to Portland. I was trying to see what year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lion King was awesome. I went to an open call one day in 2003 in Atlanta, Georgia. And it was for The Lion King and another show called Aida at the time. And it was a dual audition. Never heard anything from The Lion King. Never. I had a callback for Aida, and they even offered me a standby role, which I declined. And out of the blue, 3 years later, they called. I was working my day job as a receptionist, and they're like, "Hey, can you come to New York for a callback?" And I was like, sure. Borrow some money and get a plane ticket. I did that.
Yeah.
And I went and I didn't book it. But they said, "Hey, you're next in line." And I was like, "Okay, whatever that means." A month later, someone got, an injury and needed to, and I was next in line. And I quit my job that day, and I packed my house up in a week. And I went on the road for on and off for 5 years. I got to do the Broadway version of that company in 2008. Once they invest in you and you're good and they like you, they'll move you around as their needs. People, because especially for the ensemble, the show, your contract is just kind of open ended. So it was really amazing. So I got to play. I started as a ensemble member with a Nala understudy. And then I got promoted to go to another tour, because back in the day they used to have 2 North American tours going at the same time, just in 2 different coasts. And so then I went to another tour and played Nala, and then they're like, "Good job." And then I got to go to Broadway in 2008. And then I went to Vegas and did Mandalay Bay right before the last few months before it closed. I got to go to Mexico City and Honolulu and Germany, and so it was such a gift. And once I feel like I checked all the boxes, I moved on because I knew I wanted to do film and TV. But it was an amazing experience that I had. I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't get to see you in my city because I bet you would have totally nailed it. And,
Yeah.
Even though Bytha, the Klingon, was amazing, I haven't heard any singing from you yet, and I'm sure that I would really enjoy that as well.
Yeah. You can't get in Lion King without being a great singer. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, one of the other shows that I must admit is one of my absolute guilty pleasures that you were in 3 episodes of is Lincoln Lawyer.
Yeah, season 1.
I'm not even a lawyer show guy. I like sci-fi and I like a lot of different types of things. But for whatever reason, that show really resonates with me, and I just think Manuel Garcia is fantastic
Yeah, he's a
in
sweetheart.
that. So, what was that like working on that show? I mean, I know it was only 3 episodes, so it wasn't like a huge part of your career. But do you have
Yeah.
any cool feelings or thoughts about that?
I was happy to just be on a David E. Kelly show, to be totally honest. And I love the casting director, Wendy O'Brien. And that fun fact about that show, because that was my first lawyer gig that I actually booked. I auditioned for many lawyers. And I remember being on set, and I was like, I asked for a prop. I need something this first time you meet me in the courthouse, I was telling him about some case, and I remember they were setting up the lights, and I just said to myself, I don't know if anyone's ever watched, TMZ, the hook at the end. They're like, "I'm a lawyer."
Yes, yes.
I was looking at myself, and I was
I
like,
love
"I'm a lawyer."
it. It's
Oh,
fantastic.
I had auditioned for lawyers so many times over the years. Like, I object, Your Honor. Like, just I couldn't even take myself seriously because I've been practicing so long. Most actors have practiced those few lines. I
But you
object.
finally got to say it.
Yes. Oh, I just tickled myself. But that's what I'm saying. Like, at this big age and stage, I still am so grateful to do what I do. And it's just so much fun. Yes, it's hard work and long hours, and there's days where or years where you're not working and it's so slow. But man, when there's many things that I enjoy doing, but moments like that, like it leaves me speechless. I love it so much. It's so much
Well,
fun.
I mean, I think as fans, we kind of get into this space where we put actors in a kind of like them sort of category, and I love getting actors in an environment like this, especially somebody like you who's so warm and inviting and willing to talk about themselves, because for me it humanizes you, right? It like
Mhm.
brings you into the family, and you're like, oh, she's just not up there on a pedestal somewhere. She's just like a regular gal who likes doing what she's doing and like
Mhm.
actually gets thrilled by it every single time she gets to do it. So
Exactly.
I just think that's really special. Okay, so slight pivot then away from your acting career. I always like to ask our guests about what they do outside of acting. This is your job, and I'm sure that you love your job.
Mhm.
But some people do music, some people do art, some people read books. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I love to garden. I'm a
Okay.
gardener. So just getting in the dirt and growing wildflowers and vegetables and herbs is my thing. I'm also a dog lover.
oh, yay.
Many dog lovers on this
Yeah.
podcast.
After my husband had passed, my dog of 7 years, my first dog ever, died from lymphoma 2 weeks after he did.
Aw.
So I tell
geez.
you, I was done. I was just done.
Yeah.
And then so it took a while, but then about a year or so later, I was like, it's time. And then so I went to the shelter and
Mhm.
rescued a little terrier mix named Rumi.
Mhm.
And then a few months later, I got him a big little brother German Shepherd puppy named Apollo.
Aw.
So big dog lover. So I have my company here, and outside of that, I love going to movies and listening to music. I do sing as well. Love to write. And outside of that, of course, coaching. I coach and mentor other actors. I have a whole community called Hollywood Bound Actors, which I just can't seem to stop doing. I feel like it's a calling on me to do and to give back and to pour in and to be the coach that I wish I had. So I spend a lot of time mentoring or making TikTok videos or, that kind of thing. Just, I can't help but be a bit of a content creator and an educator. But I love to create. I love to have fun, and I love to cook also. That's a lot of fun too, and give back.
Many gardeners are very good cooks, so that does not surprise
Yeah,
me one bit.
exactly.
Well, that makes sense because I'm a
Well,
lousy gardener and I'm a lousy cook. So,
Oh, cool. Okay.
but I love
Okay, we
dogs.
get
I
it.
have a rescue hound, so I love
Oh,
dogs.
wonderful. Awesome.
Well, I'll just say that I really appreciate the fact that you're so inspiring to lots of young women, lots of young Black women, and other women of color. You're also an inspiration to people who look like me, man. Like the fact that you're out there doing the things that you're doing and you're loving them and you're just totally kicking ass at them. It's just an inspiration to us all. So
Thank you.
I'll just say thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. I'm going to pass it back to Uncle Jim, but it was just a real pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Great questions, everybody. It's a great conversation.
So
Yeah.
I had an idea for a new show. How about Bytha as a lawyer?
There we go.
A legal show.
Klingon lawyer.
Klingon lawyer.
I love
Let's
it.
Klingon
pitch it.
lawyer
Let's
for
see.
hire
She can say,
musical.
I'm a lawyer and crack her whip.
Right.
in Klingon. Oh,
In
dude.
And then-
Klingon. I have to learn how to say it in Klingon.
Punch somebody in the
Yeah,
face.
crack her whip. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that I
I
would pay to
love
see
it.
that. Let's put that in Chat GBT and see what it spits out
Oh my
for.
God, that would be
Oh
That'd
my
be a great
hilarious.
gosh.
show.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I wanted to pivot back to Star Trek real quick. So we're always hearing about how funny they are on the cast, like Anson Mount in particular.
Mhm.
So when you were working on your zombie scenes with him and Babs, was there any fooling around or jokes going on, or was it deadly serious?
Actually, not a lot because our days were so long. Um, everybody was just really focused, to be honest. And on the days we were filming, there were all those zombies, all the stunt people. It was a lot going on, right? It wasn't that, none of that is just like, oh, we copied 5 people and pasted them.
Mhm.
No, it was a lot of people. And so with that, it was just a lot of focus because the days were very long and very trying. So not saying that they're not, but in my experience, they were focused. I was focused. Also, as when you come in as a guest artist, like for one episode, you're in and out. You kind of it's very common to just be a loner because everyone else has their flow and their rhythm and the things, and they know each other. And I had so much on my mind between my stunt choreography and lines and Klingon and all the things. I was just so focused on getting it right and being alert. So I didn't have any of those moments, but I'm sure I've seen some of the other episodes of the season where they're singing and all kinds of fun stuff is happening. I bet there's a lot of fun moments that happen for sure.
So nobody broke into Michael Jackson's Thriller while you were zombieing around?
Perhaps, maybe I missed it again, because there were a lot of stunt actors on set on those days, so I'm sure it could have happened for sure.
Oh, I thought of.
So
Oh, if I could ask a.
have you watched that episode yet? Have you watched your performance in that episode?
Oh yeah, I
What
did.
did you think? Do you think you were a really badass
I
Klingon?
did. I was very proud. Of course, any actor worth their salt is probably going to nitpick at a few things, which I naturally did. But that's constructive feedback and criticism for next time. But I enjoyed it. I was very pleased with how it came out. I don't watch the dailies or see, outside of the moment what's happening. Maybe the stunt coordinator might say, see what you did there, let's fix that. But no, I was very pleased with it. I want to get the footage so I can watch it some more. Yeah, I had a viewing party and had friends over, and then I watched it privately, and yeah, I was very pleased.
Yeah, you're immortalized in the world of Star Trek now. You will
Yeah.
forever be Bytha.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
You'll
Well,
be
not
showing
only
up at
that,
conventions.
Christine, you never know, but you just may one day find out from your agent that you're being immortalized in plastic. I mean, there could be a Bytha action figure down the road for you. I mean,
Hey,
popular
you
characters.
never know.
I've got a little interest
Hey.
in the toy universe, and I'm
Oh, I
telling
was
you,
going to ask.
people would snap you up.
With that scene that was so.
Well, I'm open to it as long as that means that not that also equates to money and other opportunities and sci-fi conferences and appearances. As long
There
as
would
that
be no
trickles
more
down
life
my way,
cast
I'm
involved. You
all
wouldn't
for
have to
it.
do any of that stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Thank
I wanted to add. I did just a face cast way back in school in college, and I'm very claustrophobic too. And the whole thing about breathing, that's the only thing that gets you from like screaming and tearing everything off. But with that zombie scene, especially at the end where Bytha is just getting consumed, that looked like, was that as intense as it looked like? And
Yeah, great
yeah,
question.
but
It
yeah.
was.
Mhm.
Oh,
No,
go
I was
ahead.
going to say,
Okay.
and after, because I know from other intense movies when they have a scene like that everybody has to sort of get together afterwards and um, I guess make sure that everybody's okay. That this intensity does not carry on with them. You know what does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, like a release.
Mhm.
Everybody,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has their process for
Sure.
sure. The biggest thing that happened on set, again, we're surrounded by stunt coordinators,
Sure.
fight coordinators, and safety teams. So it's all wonderfully staged. It is a lot of energy and a lot of people coming on top of you and tapping, but they had like a really low table that I slid under.
Mm-hmm.
And so the weight of humans no one was crushing my
good.
actual, chest, but I will still under a table, so still didn't help my claustrophobic
Yeah.
energy. But I'm like, I can do it. When they didn't need to all be there, they weren't. When they got another angle, I moved, and my stunt double came in. So that Ohenawa, who's my stunt double, amazing athlete, Olympic athlete, she came in for some of that heavy lifting, the hard falls, the pushes, and moments where she was being toppled in a wider shot. She came in like a pro and held me down. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was an intense scene.
It was. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask one more thing. What did you think about our theme song?
It
Eric
was so
sang
catchy. It was so catchy. I'm like, I'm gonna be mad at you because when I'm singing it in my head in the middle of the night, like talking.
We need to add.
Yeah.
We need to add Bytha to it.
There we go.
Yeah, and I love the graphics and everything. Nice job.
Yeah, Eric sang it. I wrote it. David put the video together. It's a group effort.
I gotta say, I'm just starting to do some of these podcasts. Like I said, as I have time, I say yes. I'm not super concerned about how big the following is. Like I'm like, if I have time, if I can make it work, I would love to. But I love the dedication in whether it's in the outfits or the music or the production value. I think I just appreciate it. I really do. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you very much, and I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to Trek Talk with us. Thank you. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Heart.
Yes, my pleasure. Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to send it to me, and I'll definitely share it, and we'll see what happens in the future. I hope to see you in another planet sometime soon.
We want to see a Bytha, the legal Klingon lawyer show.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for spending time with us today, Christine.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was fun.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun.
She was amazing. Great stories.
Really was awesome.
Just a really nice person.
Oh, definitely.
Good time all the way around.
Cool.
Wow, when she said that about the law of attraction, that just, like I said, it gave me chills. Because I've been delving into that lately, and it's really helped quite a bit to get me through some stuff. But I think I definitely have to contact her and see if I can maybe I can achieve my dream of being, as 7 years old, vowing that I would be on Star Trek. And here I am. All these. Hey, it's never say never.
Never say never.
Absolutely.
She's the only Klingon I know who's not afraid of triples.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Go figure.
She probably didn't know the reference.
Well, what would have been funny? What would have been funny if you'd had it squeal at her, doing the little tribble shrieking.
A little squeaking tribble.
I think she's a video. Kind of a visitor.
I didn't want to play it when she was talking.
Denizen.
Yep.
But we do have a video that she sent me. If you guys would like to see it,
absolutely.
About her with her her stunt doubles learning how to use the whip. You guys want to see that?
Yes.
Sure. Roll the tape, David.
Will do.
Oops.
This is Ohenawa, my wonderful stunt double. I want to get her before we are in our getup. I can't recognize. She's amazing, patient. This is Mike. He's my Tai Chi brother. He reminds me to breathe. Slow. This is Vincent, who is so patient with me. He tells me to walk and get low, and he drills me. Yes. Amazing. We're about to rehearse. So Vincent was training me on how to throw the whip, even though there would not be a real whip on the day. When I first started fight rehearsals for hours a day, I just practiced with a fake knife going against the wall just to work on my posture and my form. So my lesson every day was to go slow before I could go fast. So I would rehearse with Mike since Babs was filming. As you can see here, I do not have the full whip. This is how I actually filmed it with just this little piece, but it was important that Vincent taught me the actual posture I would need when the whip would be added. And more fight rehearsals. I got more confident working with Mike, but it was still very challenging to make sure my form was right. And I ended every single day with a bath because my body hurt.
So she sent me that video, and I couldn't figure out how to get it into the show while she was live, but I wanted to show that anyway. So thank you so much for sending us that video. All right, guys. So this is the part of the show where we do our fan shout outs. So you guys ready for some shout outs?
Let's shout them out.
All right, take it away, David. Where's our shout outs? There they are.
We don't have a shout out song, Jim. Hello.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a shout out song.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll just go ahead. All right. So our first fan shout out goes out this week to Simon Walker from Great Britain. He says, only not so great at the moment. Well, that's right, Simon. We feel your pain. Not a problem. But thanks for saying hello to us this week. We really appreciate your support for the podcast. Also saying hello this week to Joe McLeod, who's in Western Australia, sending us that amazing Australian flag. Joe McLeod, thank you so much for supporting us in the other hemisphere. It's amazing the reach of our podcast. Sometimes it just makes me feel really amazing inside to know that there are people so far away that know who we are. I would like to also welcome and say hello to James Wilson this week, who is hailing from Dajin Guides on the Haida Gwaii Peninsula in BC, Canada. First Nations designations going on there. I love that. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper to all Trekkies around the world. And James sends us a live long and prosper sign and a smiley face. James, thank you so much for saying hello to us and for acknowledging the people who originally come from those lands with your locations there. And last but not least, we would like to say, at least I would like to say, hello to Gunther Bolanse, who's saying hello from Antwerp in Belgium today. One of those very cool countries that feels like it just combines the cultures of so many different places and has its own culture. It's a really, really cool country, and your architecture is something that really blows my mind sometimes when I start to think about Belgian architecture. Gunther, thank you so much for saying hello to us this week. Charles, I would like to pass this shout-out megaphone over to you now, sir.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Let's start off with Starfleet HQ. Welcome, James Banks, which of course is in San Francisco. James, I gotta get back to your city soon. Della J. Hoke from South Central Pennsylvania. Welcome, Della. Welcome, Elmer Clot from Portage, Wisconsin. Welcome, Elmer. And I actually got a top fan. Welcome, Mary Stefan from Pennsylvania. Welcome, Mary. And V, who's on your list?
Well, I have somebody from my neck of the woods, Katala Barrett in Virginia. Where? I don't know, but hello. Hope you can come to Williamsburg sometime, visit us here. Then I have Charles James T. McCarty from Anniston, Alabama. That is an awesome name, Charles. Then we have, Michael Seuss from Indianapolis, Indiana. And then another sort of my neck of the woods. Steve Stanley from Roanoke, Virginia, Star City of the South. All right, on to you, Paul.
Just checking my audio, friends. Can you hear me okay?
Now I can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's try it. It keeps trying to reconnect. First of all, let's say greetings to our good pal Stuart Cook in Worcestershire,
I
United
don't hear him
Kingdom.
anymore.
Oh, well, okay. There we go.
Poor Paul.
All right.
Let's move on to the next list, and then we'll come back to Paul after he disconnects and reconnects.
Yeah, we'll see if Paul can come back. If not, we'll just have Eric continue on. All right, so I'm going to step in here for a second, and I want to say hello and thank you to Mary L. Silva, who's listening to us down in Florida. Thank you, Mary. It's great to have you along with us. I have a top fan on my list, Jerry Lee from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you so much. Next on my list, I want to say hello and thank you to Len Tricor, who's listening to us in Detroit, Michigan. And another top fan. I love it when I get top fans. We want to say thank you to Kirk P. Del Costa from Nebraska. And how do you become a top fan? Eric, how do you become a top fan?
Well, Jim, you start to interact with us a ton on our Facebook page, and I believe that that's a little designation that Facebook gives you, because when you like something, when you love something, when you comment on something, it sort of builds up into a frenzy of top fanedness, and we appreciate having as many top fans as we can possibly get.
Absolutely. And I guess Paul has to run off to a meeting. So, Eric, do you want to continue Paul's birthday list?
I definitely do. Well, not birthday list, but shout out list. We're going to say hello this week to Stuart Cook, who's from Worcestershire, UK, and we had a lot of fun with the name of that area last week. Is that the sauce that you put on the steak? No, it's not. It is a place in the United Kingdom, and we have a ton of support from our friends just across the pond. Thank you so much for saying hello to us this week, Stuart. We really appreciate your support. I would also like to say hello this week to Yalma Cristo, who hails from Belo Horizonte in Brazil. We surprisingly have a lot of support down in South America, particularly Brazil. And Yalma, you are one among many. I'm sure that you have a Star Trek club down there, or at least a bunch of people that you know that also enjoy the same franchises you enjoy. And we enjoy your support and really appreciate you saying hello to us this week. Like to say hello this week as well to Petra Sheehan from Dublin, Ireland. One of those places I would love to go because I love your food, I love your culture, and believe it or not, I love your weather. I'm a rainy weather kind of guy. So, Petra Sheehan, thanks for saying hello to us. And last but not least on Paul's list, I would like to say hello to top fan Rainier W. Bierman, who is from the city of Mers in Deutschland. And they send us 3 live long and prospers, as well as that amazing German flag. Thank you, Rainier, for saying hello to us this week. A lot of support right there in the center of Europe for our podcast, and we always appreciate friends from Germany saying hello. So there you have it. That does it for our shout outs this week, Jim.
Absolutely. And if you guys would like to be featured in a future fan shout out, head over to our Facebook page, Trek Talking and Beyond. You'll see a little live long and prosper pinned to the top of the page. Just bop in there, tell us where you're listening from, and leave lots of emojis because it gets my attention and gets you points to become a top fan. Also, you see it on the screen right there, there's me and my daughter Jamie at Trek Conaroga with Mr. Spock. You guys can send us your fan photos. There's me and Michael Dorn back in 1991. We can get your pictures right up here on the screen, so you'll be immortalized for all of eternity as a Star Trek fan. So please do that. We'd love to add your picture to our collection. All right, guys, we're going to skip down to our Star Trek birthdays right now, which means we're a little bit out of whack here because we're doing things out of order, which means this.
That was not a Klingon song.
All right, guys, this is the part of the show where you can find out what Star Trek actor you share a birthday with. But before we do that, we like to remember those members of our Star Trek family who, sadly enough, are no longer with us. And for that, we turn to Eric.
This week, we are going to remember 4 members of our Star Trek community who have gone before us. The first is actress Kathy Brown. Kathy Brown was the California-based actress who appeared as Deela in the TOS 3rd season episode Wink of an Eye. This blonde-haired, blue-eyed played many ingenue parts and was very busy acting on television in the 1960s and 1970s, but one of her most famous acting roles was as the prospective bride of Adam Cartwright during the 1963 to 1964 season of Bonanza from 1959. I will admit that I have seen a ton of Bonanza. I saw it in reruns as a child, and I actually remember Kathy Brown as the bride of Adam Cartwright. It's a weird kind of like long-term memory that's in there for some reason. She was also, of course, on various shows, including Sea Hunt, 77 Sunset Strip, Gunsmoke, Perry Mason. One of her 4 appearances on Perry Mason was as Sherry Jackson. She was on My Favorite Martian, Wagon Train, Wild Wild West, Fantasy Island, The Love Boat. All those shows. I feel like this is defining the reruns of my childhood right now. Kathy Brown, thank you so much for all of your contributions to Star Trek. Unfortunately, we lost her all the way back in 2003 at 72 years old. Happy birthday to her. Her birthday is September 19th. She was born in 1930. Happy birthday as well to Jerry Ayers, the actor who played O'Leary in the TOS first season episode Arena, and Rizzo in the second season episode Obsession. Ayers was born as Gerald Hoyt Ayers Jr. He was to go on to become a regular on General Hospital and The Bold and the Beautiful, 2 soaps that my mom used to watch all the time. So I've actually seen a lot of Jerry Ayers too. He had a reoccurring role in the first season of Dynasty as well. Plenty of other television guest stars to his credit, including Green Hornet, Hogan's Heroes, The Invaders, Mod Squad, The Outcasts, Police Story, Charlie's Angels, Barnaby Jones, and Chips. Little known fact, and for those of you who are currently watching this podcast, this is a little bit of Trek Talking trivia. There may be a reason that my first name is spelled with a K, and its last name may be Estrada. Happy birthday
Oh my gosh, really?
to Jerry.
Oh my gosh, is that true? Is that
Yeah,
true?
it is. It actually
Okay,
is
that's
true.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Happy birthday as well to Henry Gibson, the prolific actor who played Nilva in the DS9 6th season episode Prophet and Lace. Outside of Star Trek, he, of course, is best remembered as a regular performer on the television variety series Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 through 1971. I don't know what's going on tonight, but I've seen a ton of episodes of Laugh-In too. He went on to appear in a large number of films, including several from Robert Altman and Joe Dante. Gibson worked with director Altman on several films, beginning with The Long Goodbye in 1973, but he's best known as the country singer in Haven Hamilton. His name was Haven Hamilton from the movie Nashville from 1975. That performance actually earned him a National Society of Film Critics Award as Best Supporting Actor, as well as a second Golden Globe nomination. Gibson also wrote and performed several songs for the film, which allowed him to share a Grammy Award nomination for Album of Best Original Score written for a motion picture or television series. That's so cool. Henry Gibson, not only an actor, but an amazing musician. He was in a bunch of other films too. You can go check out his IMDb. I probably know him best, honestly, from National Lampoon's Vacation. He was in that movie, which is one of my favorite
It's
movies
a
of all
hilarious
time.
movie. Yep.
It's so funny. I mean, I must say that I put Christmas Vacation slightly higher, but that's only because it becomes a yearly tradition to watch that thing. So, Henry Gibson, we lost him back in 2009 at the age of 73 years old. Happy birthday to Henry. And last but not least on our remembrance list, we say happy birthday this week to Robert Herron, the Hollywood stuntman and actor. He worked as a stunt double for Jeffrey Hunter on that original TOS pilot, The Cage. He also appeared uncredited as a USS Enterprise crew member named Sam in the episode Charlie X. He later played the ex-Caliban recreation of the legendary Kahless the Unforgettable in The Savage Curtain. So that's not one, not two, but 3 Star Trek credits to his name. As an actor, Heron had small roles in a number of films, including Gun Fury from 1953, Movie from 1978, City Heat. He also appeared in Stanley Kramer's The Domino Principle, which featured Majel Barrett. But Heron was a stuntman first and an actor second, so we appreciate you falling and hitting yourself and running into things, Robert Heron. You're amazing. We lost you all the way back in 2021, but you, my good friend, lived to be 97 years
A good
old, and
age.
I only hope that I can get 2/3 of the way there myself. Happy birthday to you. And that does it for our remembrances this week. So I'm going to pass this flaming birthday candle over to my good friend Charles.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Let's start off with a happy birthday to Carolyn McCormick, actress who played Minuet in TNG's first season episode 11001001,
Oh,
and also played Minuet Riker in the fourth season episode Future Imperfect.
So
It's
I
not
didn't realize that she had a last name. I just knew her as Minuet. But did she really have a Riker last name?
because she was supposed to be
Well,
Riker's wife
yeah, but it
in
was
that
something.
episode.
Yeah, it was created by that little alien boy that was lonely, and he made it into like this Romulan takeover. It was like a scenario within a scenario, and he created these
Yeah.
videos. Yeah, and so that's when Riker knew, wait a minute, this isn't real, because he knew that Min wasn't real. So yeah,
Wow.
that was convoluted, but
Yeah.
No, that's great.
okay.
You've got the
Yeah.
encyclopedic remembrance of these
I
things.
don't
I
know
love
if
it,
it's,
V.
yeah, something. Maybe there's pills for that. I don't know.
No, don't take them.
Okay.
You've probably taken too much Tylenol, which
yeah,
is the
that's,
problem.
yeah.
yeah, stay
Oh,
away from that
Well,
Tylenol. Tylenol's bad.
considering I
Very,
was
very
born
bad.
before that even came out, what the heck is,
I know,
what the
right?
hell is my excuse? What do they say? You know, my mother didn't love me enough. I don't know. God. I don't know. That's insanity. Anyway, sorry. Oh, can we say how fabulous Quark looked as Lumba in Prophet and Lace when Nilva had the hots for
100%.
Quark? That was
I mean,
fabulous.
the outfit, I would totally wear that
I would
outfit. Like,
cosplay that outfit. I would cosplay that outfit. That was fantastic.
oh,
Anyway,
man.
sorry, we digress.
We digress.
Sorry, Charles.
Okay. Continuing on with the
I really
happy
want to.
birth-
I'll just say that I really want to hang out in person with you, V.
Okay, yeah,
I feel like
ditto,
we would
back
have a
at
good
ya.
time together.
I want to hang out with all of you, because I think it would just be, hilarity would ensue.
It would be amazing.
Or to quote Seven of Nine, fun will now commence.
Well, maybe we'll all have to head down to Star Trek Las Vegas and see if we can get a Trek talking table
Oh,
there.
that would be great. When is that again? Is that
next August,
okay?
but I
I
wouldn't
can
hold my
plan for that
breath
now.
next August because next August is Star Trek 60th. That's
Yes.
going to be a big con. It's not going to be easy getting tables if you don't get them now, and they're not cheap. Thinking of birthdays and some of our favorite episodes, happy birthday to Aldous Hogue, actress who played Kraft in Star Trek
Aldous
Short
Hodge.
Treks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Star Trek Short Trek episode Calypso.
Excellent episode.
The best
Excellent
one
episode.
of all
and
the
I
short
think
treks.
I have to see that.
And I think we understand that episode a lot better now with Discovery coming to a conclusion. What happened? Happy birthday to Robin Gamel, actress who played Marek in TNG's 7th season episode Attached. Happy birthday to Dan Ginote, actress who played George Samuel Kirk in Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Great to having Dan in there. We love having Sam in the show.
There's been way more Sam Kirk than I expected in this show, and I do not hate that at all. I
No,
think Sam is awesome.
Sam's a great.
Yeah,
Sam is a
I think
great
he's a great
character.
character.
He's a great character, and he's kind of like always there somehow, and I'm not even really clear on what all of his skills are, but I feel like he knows a lot about a lot of
He
stuff.
has a great mustache.
And he has a great mustache.
Just like
It doesn't look
just
like
Pike's
it's
hair.
nice and full.
He's got the
Yeah.
stash. Yeah.
He does. He's got the Pike's hair equivalent of a mustache. He totally does.
He looks like was it John Oates from Hall & Oates?
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a little
For those
bit.
of you who get that
He had
reference,
long
Yeah.
curly hair. Yeah.
I mean,
that are old like
yeah.
me.
I mean, I see Jim Carrey in Paul Wesley, so why not the Hall & Oates thing? Sure.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And last on my list, happy birthday to Rosalind Chow, actress who played Keiko O'Brien in TNG and DS9. It was nice to see an attachment for Miles in that show.
It was. I feel like Rosalind, I will admit, girl, your character could have been used a little bit better. I feel like I wanted a Keiko O'Brien like sideshow or something because there was some depth there that wasn't explored with your character that I think could have been
More
really
Keiko
cool.
episodes.
Yeah.
You know
But, like,
what
good
we
ones.
need? You know what we need, Eric? We need Bytha as the lawyer and Keiko as her
Assistants?
her administrative assistant that does all the paperwork and stuff for her.
I feel like it could be a 1-2 punch Bytha Keiko lawyer team, right?
Yeah.
There you
like
go.
one like good cop, bad cop kind of thing.
Like Cagney and Lacey.
I was just gonna say
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Cagney and Lacey.
Yes. Exactly like
Which,
that.
of course,
See, we're on the same wavelength here. See that?
And see, and not Meg Ryan. What's her name? Meg Foster was, I forget the character's name, that almost killed Jake Sisko by being amused, but she sucked like all his life force. She lived off his life force, so to speak. So.
Oh yeah, that was Meg.
Oh yeah,
Foster.
the
Nick Foster.
Yeah, the Anaya,
something like that.
Anya, something like that.
Yeah,
she was
something
like
like
a vampire.
Yeah, like a
created
psychic vampire
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Well,
that finishes.
We
up
had
Carl's
so much fun
birthdays.
with my birthdays. Let's see how much fun we have with these birthdays.
Okay, I guess I'm taking.
Take it away,
taking
V.
Paul's birthdays. Yes. Okay.
Yep, you're Paul.
All right,
now.
I'm Paul now. Okay. And can I say that I have seen too many things, and I must admit I sort of bought into it a little bit with all the people that got annoyed by Keiko because she could be annoying. But when you think about it, I believe that Miles and Keiko were the only successful couple in any of the Star Trek that I can remember, because everybody else had things happen. Poor Worf just kept on losing his.
Yeah.
I know. So anyway.
No, you're totally right, V. And the other thing that I will just like very quickly digress on Keiko about is that the reason that I say that I think Keiko was underdeveloped is that many of the episodes that she was written into were written by men who I think specifically wrote her as the annoying wife character, and that is no fault of the actress, right?
No.
That is always the fault of the actual writers themselves. So I feel like Rosalind Chow actually had the opportunity to be more than the Keiko O'Brien that we saw, which is why I would love to see more of her in the future.
Oh yeah, I know, definitely. And she's just in everything else. She is an excellent actress.
Yeah.
So anyway, I came to really enjoy watching her as Keiko. All right, well, let's get to, let's see, Suzanne Wasson, actress who played sorry, Lethe in
Yep.
the TOS first season episode Dagger of the Mind. Next, Victor Brandt, who appears in the TOS episode The Way to Eden, one of my favorites because it's so groovy, Tongo Red. And he was in Elan of Troyes as Watson. Next, I had to read this twice, but then I understood what this was, what this role was. Anyway, Leonard Crowfoot is the actor who portrayed Trent in the TNG episode Angel One, and when it said Lal in TNG: The Offspring, he was the the generic Lal, like we see, yeah, androgynous.
Yeah.
That's right, and trying to pick who they wanted to be.
The Lal before Lal actually picks their identity.
Yes, and the Komar dignitary in Voyager Virtuoso. Next, Sierra Pachur, retired actress who played T'Pel and Selok in the TNG fourth season episode Data's Day. Data, what's the difference? One is my name, the other is not.
Hey. Did you see my comment on that post?
No, I didn't.
Sorry. This is like a little bit meta here, people, but like there was a post by Jim on the Facebook page today that showed Pulaski saying data, what's the difference? It was literally posted like an hour before the show.
I wasn't. Okay.
And my comment on that was, of course, everybody knows who listens to the show that I'm a big Pulaski fan. And my comment on that was the fact that I love the fact that she actually grows through the episode. Her character development is immense during one episode, right? So she starts like, what's the big deal? Like, I'm calling him Data. What's the difference? And by the end, she's drinking Klingon tea, right?
That's
like,
right. That's right. Yeah, talk about an actress who kind of got a raw deal in that whole thing, because we know what happened with Gates McFadden, and then she's brought in. And even to this day, I saw a recent interview where she will not speak to her experience. She's not going to say anything. That's pure class, to not, trash talk her experience. So hats off to her. Let's see, where are we? Caroline Lagerfeld, who played Makbar in DS9 second season episode Tribunal. Then, gosh, I hope I don't mangle this. Yatide Yatide. Sorry, my apologies. But Badaki, actress who played Nira Katul in the Strange New World second season episode Ad Astra per Aspera. Oh, I said that. Okay, cool. Then, last but not least, Rosalind Ingledew, who played Yanar in TNG second season episode The Outrageous Okana, which was a interesting episode. All right, on to Uncle Jim.
Well, thank you so much, V. I like to save the Klingons for last, but I got to say, we just talked to the most badass Klingon around. So how do you follow that up? How can you possibly top that? Well, I only have two birthdays. One of them isn't a Klingon. We want to say happy birthday to Jason Alexander, television, film, and stage actor who voiced Nam on Star Trek Prodigy and Kuros on Voyager's episode The Think Tank. If you guys remember Prodigy, he was that annoying Tellarite character who really liked to bash heads with the Andorian. What was his name, Eric?
Oh, it was started with a T.
The first officer there.
I can't remember it.
Yeah.
But here's what I'll say, Jim. You see Tellarites as annoying, but a Tellarite might have seen him as actually kind of liberal. Like, he actually sort of gets along with humans and Andorians a little bit better than most Tellarites do, I think.
Yeah, you're right, he did. He did.
I mean, Tellarite, let's be honest. Tellarites for humans are hard to get along with. There's no question.
I have yet to meet a Tellarite, but
Well, they just love to argue.
Mhm.
That's their thing,
That's
and they
right.
will challenge you on every single
Mm.
thing. That's part of their culture. And if you come to their table and sort of understand that
Mhm.
and argue with them, then you can be friends with a Tellarite. But if
Cool.
if you don't, then you're just going to think they're
All
annoying.
right. Well, good to know. So I'll be prepared.
Yep.
That's right. And actually, I do have a Klingon on my list. We want to say happy birthday and Kapla to Chris Obi. Now, is it Obi as in Obi-Wan Kenobi, or
Sure.
is it Obi? I'm
Let's
going
go
to
with
say
Obi.
Obi.
That sounds cool.
I'm going to go with
Yeah, I'm
Obi.
pretty sure it's Obi. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Obi. He's the actor who played Takuvma in the first 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery, the Vulcan Hello and the Battle at the Binary Stars. And I just got to say, as a Klingon fan, I absolutely loved what they did with the Klingons on Star Trek Discovery. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was great to see the Klingons truly alien and not just some dude with a handlebar mustache and shoe polish on their face, but truly, truly aliens.
So
So,
it's something they do discuss with outsiders.
yeah, something they discuss with outsiders. Yep. And so I thought that was great. And I also like the way, if you guys remember when, I don't know if they kept that, but when it first aired, way back when it was CBS All Access, before it was Paramount Plus, and when he's speaking, he speaks in Klingon, and you could actually set your Netflix to Klingon. So
Well, they naturally showed the subtitles in Klingon to start with. Yeah.
which was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat.
And I think
Yeah,
I'm going to try that
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Duolingo, and I think I'm going to see if I can learn Klingon because I forgot that they had that on there. But Duolingo, you can learn Klingon.
Yep, they do.
So
They do, and he was a great Klingon. I love that whole religious aspect and the whole thing. So, congratulations to him on creating a great character. And that, my friends, wraps up our Star Trek birthdays. And now it's time for some Star Trek news.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Incoming transmission.
Enter authorization code. Command codes verified. Define parameters of program. Level 9 authorization required. Specify parameters. Transfer of data is complete. Blank alert. Blank alert.
All right, Eric, I guess you got the first story.
Well, this is, of course, our favorite segment called Shatner Says What? But before I start the Shatner Says What, which is very exciting this week, I'll just say we did have a little scare. I believe it was yesterday that happened with Mr. William Shatner. He had a little blood sugar issue. Had to go to the hospital for that. And I'll say, even though we have a lot of fun with you, sir, because you say some crazy stuff sometimes. We are very happy that you are still with us and very happy that your experience at the hospital just went very smoothly, and that you continue to propagate the ability to just, give us more content for Shatner Says What. So I'll just say super happy that you're still with us, sir. However, let's just say that William Shatner has revealed a shocking secret behind his Star Trek career. Shatner, who went on after the television show to reprise his Kirk role in 7 Star Trek feature films, culminating with Kirk's death in 1994's Star Trek Generations, recently opened up about how it was during the beginning of his Trek career. The Emmy-winning Shatner, now 94 years old, candidly revealed that he didn't earn even 1 cent from Star Trek reruns, even though the series has been in constant syndication for decades. Star Trek on September 8th celebrated the 59th anniversary of the premiere of the first episode of the series. Nobody knew about reruns, Shatner explained. Star Trek's original run on NBC lasted just 3 seasons. He said, "The concept of syndication only came in after Star Trek was canceled when someone from the union said, 'Wait a minute, you're replaying all those films, those shows,'" Shatner said. He continued that the controversy surrounding Star Trek's move to syndication culminated in a big strike. Shatner added, "But in the end, the union secured residual fees shortly after Star Trek finished, so I didn't benefit." This isn't the first time Shatner opened up about not getting paid royalties for his time on TOS. As far back as 2020, the actor took to X, of course known as Twitter back then, to say anything before 1973, that includes the original Star Trek series, doesn't pay a cent in royalties. So please don't think you own me, you owe me, you own me, or I owe you something for watching. It doesn't work like that.
Mm.
As for whether Shatner would ever return to the Star Trek franchise, the actor, who still makes his rounds on the Star Trek convention circuit, has given mixed messages. In May 2024, the New York Post asked him what it would take for him to return to the world of Trek, and he simply replied, an injection of speed or
Oh my
something.
God.
But in February 2025, Shatner had a different answer when asked if he would ever boldly go on to another Star Trek adventure. Speaking during a panel at Fan Expo Vancouver, Shatner revealed that he had been in talks with a writer on one of Paramount Plus's in-development Star Trek shows about returning to the franchise. He said, I've been asked to come back as Kirk so many times, he said at that time. If Kirk is going to come back, it has to mean something. It has to be the show.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you, I always like to mention this anytime we talk about Kirk sort of coming back. If you haven't read his book, his Star Trek book, The Return, you should check it out just to know what happens. I'm not going to tell you that it's an amazing book, but it does talk about, like, what if Kirk didn't die in Generations? What if he came back? How would he possibly come back? Would there be certain technologies involved?
Mm.
So yeah, I one thing that really sucks about this story that I think is clear is that back in the 60s and 70s, man, the big companies were out to exploit as many actors as they possibly could. And they gave them crappy contracts, and agents didn't really know what they were talking about. I always think about that show Mad Men, with like people like just smoking in seedy rooms all the time, and nobody really getting what they really deserve in the end. So I don't poo-poo at all the fact that Shatner didn't make anything off of all of the syndication. I mean, literally the only reason I know about Star Trek is two reasons. One, because it was syndicated on television, and two, because my local library owned 16 millimeter prints of certain episodes that I saw when I was a child. So, he should have made money off of those. There's no question. Would it, but then the question always comes, would you like to see, would you as a Star Trek fan like to see James T. Kirk come back? And would you like to see him played by Mr. Shatner? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. I think it's a rhetorical question, but happy to read this story and hear what Mr. Shatner has to say about the shocking secret behind his career.
Yeah.
Well, I have a story, as I always do, to share about Mr. Shatner. Way, way, way back in the day, for a long time, he wasn't doing Star Trek conventions because he was pissed off and
Mhm.
thought he didn't owe us anything. And he did a convention down in New York City, and I said to my wife, we got to go down and meet Captain Kirk. He's going to be in New York City. Let's go. So we made the trek to New York,
Mm.
and we go into the convention. And back then, you paid to get into the convention, and you got an autograph. You didn't have to pay extra for everything. It was included in your price. I know I'm old, but that's the way it used to be. And so we waited online for hours to get up to the table, and I had my picture of Captain Kirk from TOS. He refused to sign it.
Oh no.
And the reason he cited that he wouldn't sign it is exactly what this article is about. He didn't get any residuals for that photo, therefore he wouldn't sign it. And but here's a picture of me and my horse in Kentucky. I'm like, I don't want a picture of you with your horse. I
I
want a picture of you as Captain
I
Kirk.
would have taken
And he wouldn't
horse.
sign it. He wouldn't sign it.
Aw.
And I was like, wow,
Mhm.
what a dink. So I wasn't impressed at that, back then with that. And then that's a true story.
Yeah.
And another true story, to piggyback on top of that one, is in 1991, I did a Star Trek convention in upstate New York, and our local Fox affiliate, which was airing TNG at the time, went to Saratoga Racetrack, and Shatner was racing one of his horses there. And as I just told you, Shatner wouldn't sign Star Trek photos. Well, somehow the station got him to sign a black and white promo picture of Captain Kirk holding up the Enterprise, which I know you guys have seen. I think it was on the cover of the TV Guide at one point, maybe. And he signed it for the TV station to give to us for our charity auction. And I held that as the last item because I thought, oh my God, here we got Shatner's signature on a Star Trek photo. He doesn't sign Star Trek photos. We're going to raise a lot of money for our charity. So my auctioneer puts it up there on the table. Started at $50, no bites. 40, no bites. 30,
Wow.
no bites.
Oops.
20, no bites. And so he went to 10 and we got a bid. And we ended up getting $12 for the William Shatner autographed Star Trek photo.
Mm-hmm.
It was the lowest item that we sold, and here I thought it was going to be the biggest, and it was literally
Ooh,
the
womp,
least.
womp.
So, 2 true stories
Yep.
about William Shatner and his awful experience with Star Trek.
Yeah.
So,
Well, if
there
I
you
can add a true story, at the con the other weekend, he did talk about that when he was up on the stage. When I didn't get to ask any questions because he had to tell the story about the eating bad fish and having food poisoning. That could have done without that. But the only thing, I don't think anybody should own anybody because that's just wrong. But when he said he doesn't, he doesn't owe us anything for watching, well, he kind of does, because if he hadn't been Kirk, and I know he had a dry spell after that for a while, but today he's like traveling all over the world, going to space. He's got, this fantastic horse farm in Kentucky. So in a way that, I mean,
Because we watched, right?
watched, and he's gotten money since then. He directed some no-name, movie a couple years ago.
Hey, he directed one of the best Star Trek films ever. Come on.
Yeah, no, I couldn't resist. So in that way, I have to respectfully disagree with him. But what he said, though, if he's been asked to come back, oh, I hear a terrible echo. I have to totally agree with him. If Kirk is going to come back, it has to mean something. It has to be the show. So with that, I totally agree. It can't just be, what is gratuitous.
Well, in Shatner's defense, I have to say the way conventions are run today,
Mhm.
if you're willing to pay, he'll sign anything.
Oh yeah, he will.
So,
Yep. Yep.
whatever you put in front of him, you plunk down your $100, he will sign it for
Did
you.
anybody ever
So.
see him when he was on? I saw it when it was live, Saturday Night Live years ago, and he played himself at a convention. You could probably look it up on YouTube, William Shatner as himself on SNL. And I'm sure there was a
Yep.
little more truth to his response to the fans, the actors in the audience. It's like basically telling them, what are you doing here? Get a life.
Get a life.
Yes, he said get a
Yeah.
life,
Get a
and
life.
he points to, I think it was
Get a
John
life.
Lovitz, and says, have you ever kissed a girl? And he just looks down in shame. So that was hilarious. I think there was probably a little more, he probably wouldn't admit it, but a little more, reality to that scene than probably, I don't know. But if you have a chance to watch it, do it. It's really pretty funny.
I believe, I think we actually played that on the podcast at one point. Because there's a lot of fans that have never seen that because they weren't born in 1986
God, now make me.
when that came out. So we pull it out and I'll blow the dust off and play it every once in a while, just to, Well, Charles,
making me.
Charles, you've got our next story, which is actually a little bit, well, not too badly dated, but you've got our next story.
Okay. September 24th, a great day for Captain Kirk fans. Star Trek fans are currently waiting eagerly for the anticipation of the release of IDW's publishing Star Trek The Last Starship #1. It is set to take place during the most infinite event in the franchise's history, the Burn, which has nearly marked up the end of the United Federation of Planets and everything that Starfleet fought to protect. Star Trek The Lost Starship #1 is currently slated to arrive on September 24th. The official synopsis for Star Trek Last Starship #1 reads, for 7 centuries, the United Federation of Planets brought together the entire. Then, in one terrible moment, it all crumbled in an event known as the Burn, a galaxy-wide disastrous event which dilithium has gone inert, causing the detonation of every active warp core. The only ship remaining is a hacked and slashed starship Enterprise Omega and its ragtag crew. Facing the true Wild West in space, the crew will need to make use of what few resources they have to upload Starfleet's mission of unity across the universe. And Captain Kirk will have to face a future without a Federation he loves so dearly. Star Trek The Last Starship is just one of several new Star Trek comic books being released by IDW Publishing this year. Now, just quick summary is some of the other ones include Star Trek Red Shirts, Star Trek Voyager Homecoming, Strange New Worlds, The Seeds of Salvation, and that's it for so far. We've got quite a few active comics coming out right now. Hopefully the Voyager one will get a little better. I thought that was a little bit much for that first issue. And Red Shirts was not quite what I expected. But I'm sure that might
I
be a
haven't read
comic
that
corner
yet.
down the line.
Yeah, we'll get around to that for sure. And I have the last story here for the night. We're going to go right back to the Klingon theme. I only had one Klingon in my birthdays, but we had a hell of a badass Klingon on the podcast for you
We
guys
did.
tonight.
Wow.
So we started with a Klingon, and we're going to end with a Klingon. Klingon Next Door is a hilarious look at Star Trek's angriest aliens. What do they do in their downtime? And there's the cover of the book right there. I'm going to have to pick it up because it looks interesting. Titan Books hardcover cartoon collection makes you see militant Klingons in a whole new light. Klingons aren't exactly the most friendly bunch of battle-tested aliens inhabiting the Star Trek universe, but seeing them in more casual, domestic situations, relaxing under the mundane circumstances, should bring a smile to all of our geeky faces. As initially presented in the first season of Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek original series in 1966, these warmongering humanoids were supposed to be a not-so-subtle sci-fi reflection of the Soviet-era Cold War Russian adversaries residing on their home planet of Kronos and acting hostile to the Federation. Now a whimsical new hardcover book from author Joey Spitto titled Klingon Next Door, Off Duty in the Warrior's Way aims to show the lighter side of these aggressive beings, showing what they get up, showing when they, excuse me, showing what they get up to when they're not piloting their birds of prey, firing on innocent Starfleet vessels, and creating a turbulent political crisis or two. No, normal task is ignored in this quirky surprise, whether they're doing a spot of cooking, playing competitive sports, or just grocery shopping. Fans of the Star Trek Lower Decks will discover how an honorable warrior might take on the epic challenges of day-to-day home life in this funny collection of colorful vignettes. Star Trek Klingon Next Door, Off Duty, The Warrior's Way is currently available for $16.95 at Amazon. I'm going to have to pick
Me
that up
too. And
for
I was
sure.
today years old when I learned, and it's like it was so obvious that the original Klingons were, because Star Trek was so, about current issues about But yeah, Soviet era Cold War Russian adversaries. Duh.
Yeah.
But the
And
funny thing is about the planet of Kronos. At work here, our app that we clock in and out of, and have our work time, vacation time and all that, is also called Kronos.
oh
So
jeez.
now it's like, yeah, I'm dealing with the home planet of the Klingons, which can be, and that
the
can be
planet
kind of adversarial. Yeah, so it's perfect.
the planet of the Klingons. I love it.
Yeah, planet of the
All
Klingons
right, guys.
homekeeping. Yep.
Well, believe it or not, we made it through the whole show.
Woohoo.
Next week, we're going to be talking about Khan SETI Alpha 5, Episode 1, Paradise. I've got some trivia questions. We've got some poll questions all lined up, as well as fan shout-outs and our Star Trek birthdays and our Star Trek news. So you tune in next week for that. I just got to say thank you so much to
Yes.
Christine Horn. I thought she was phenomenal. She was a lot of fun to talk to, and I think she enjoyed talking to us as much as we enjoy talking to her,
Mm-hmm.
and that's refreshing. So, thank you so much, Christine, for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
It was great, absolutely great. And before we go, I want to say thank you so much to Paul for hanging out and Trek talking with us. He had to run, but thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much to Eric as well for hanging out and Trek talking with us. Thank you, Eric.
You bet. Thank you all.
And thank you to V for hanging out and Trek talking with us as well. Thank you. Thank you, V. And Moopsie.
Yep. Oopsie.
And Moopsie. Whoopsie. And thank you so much to David for hanging out with us and making these awesome podcasts come to life. Thank you, David.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
And of course, thank you to Charles for hanging out and Trek talking with us as well. Thank you, Charles.
Always fun, always great interviews.
A lot of fun. And I've got some more in the works. I'll let you guys know as they develop. One of them, of course, is Adam Nimoy, the son of Leonard Nimoy.
Mm-hmm.
That's looking to be in October, so
Cool.
I'll keep you guys posted. All right, I'm your most excellent host, Uncle Jim, saying everybody, please remember to stay safe and be good to each other. And Star Trek fans are the best fans. Hailing frequencies are closed, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Live long and prosper.
All stations, ready for departure, sir. Some problem, Riker?
Just hoping this isn't the usual way our missions will go, sir.
Oh, no, number one. I'm sure most will be much more interesting. Let's see what's out